For decades, Dragon Ball has been more than just a popular anime and manga series. It is a global cultural phenomenon, and when we talk about Dragon Ball games, few titles hold as much as nostalgia as the Budokai Tenkaichi series from the PlayStation 2 era. It was a time when Dragon Ball fans could truly immerse themselves in the chaotic, high-flying battles of Dragon Ball Z with special attack struggles, transformations, and iconic moments recreated with stunning accuracy for the time. With the release of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, we get not just a new Dragon Ball game but a revival of that special Budokai Tenkaichi magic. And it's a love letter to both the franchise and its fans. Although many of these anime games look like they have it, they lack the passion within, becoming just a fun service experiences. However, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero not only brilliantly delivers the Budokai Tenkaichi formula, but it also a true passion project for the series. Whether you're a hardcore Dragon Ball fan or just curious about the latest entry in the franchise, Sparking Zero has something for you. I'm Arcadenaut here, and today I will talk about the latest Dragon Ball experience that goes way beyond the potential of Super Saiyans. First, many of you would be curious about the story mode, especially those curious about the Dragon Ball Z events but can't find the motivation to watch it from the start. When it comes to the story mode, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero delivers a mixed bag, but I recommend you to play Dragon Ball Kakarot if you want to follow a more in-depth narrative that is faithful to Dragon Ball manga. But here in Sparking Zero, it offers a comprehensive retelling of key arcs from Dragon Ball Z to Dragon Ball Super, and even some of the non-canon movies. The story is divided into several character-specific episodes, each focusing on a different character's journey through the saga. For example, you can play through Goku's story from the Saiyan saga all the way to the Tournament of Power, and then maybe change to Vegeta or Gohan stories to experience their perspective, their fights during the Android or Cell saga, and then later on experience Goku Black's perspective and to play the canonical fights from his view. However, the presentation of the story mode is somewhat lacking. Instead of fully animated cutscenes, much of the story is told through still images and text, which can feel underwhelming for a game that otherwise excels in capturing the cinematic feel of Dragon Ball. The lack of full voice acting in many scenes also detracts from the immersion. While the story mode is enjoyable, it could have benefited from more polish in these areas. That being said, just like how the Budokai Tenkaichi series did in PlayStation 2 era, the real star of the story mode is the inclusion of what-if scenarios. These alternate storylines allow players to explore hypothetical situations that deviate from the established canon. Ever wondered what would have happened if Goku had defeated Raditz without dying? Or what if future Trunks had taken a different approach to fighting the androids? Sparking Zero offers players the chance to explore these alternate realities, and they are some of the most fun you will have in the game. I remember enjoying these what-if scenarios when I played Budokai Tenkaichi 2 back in the day, and this time, these scenarios can lead to bigger outcomes and longer alternative scenarios to enjoy rather than just having one or two additional fights. In addition, for some reason, these what-if scenarios often come with fully animated cutscenes, and the writing is filled with the kind of wild fanservice moments that Dragon Ball fans live for. It's in these moments that Sparking Zero truly shines as a love letter to the franchise, allowing fans to experience Dragon Ball like never before. If you are still new to the Dragon Ball franchise or haven't had the opportunity to play the Budokai Tenkaichi series, let me tell you why keeping and improving the formula is so important. First and foremost, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a spiritual successor to the Budokai Tenkaichi series. Fans of those games will immediately recognize the large-scale 3D arena combat that defined the Tenkaichi experience. In an era where Dragon Ball FighterZ reigns supreme as a 2D fighting game, Sparking Zero shifts back to the 3D arena style, offering a refreshing change of pace. The basic mechanics of Sparking Zero is simple enough for newcomers, but also deep enough for veterans to sink their teeth into. You will find yourself flying around massive arenas, dashing across landscapes and launching devastating energy blasts at your opponents, all things that made Budokai Tenkaichi so exhilarating. But beyond the nostalgia, Sparking Zero brings several modern touches to refine the experience. The combat system revolves around three primary resources: your health, your ki, and stamina. Managing your resources to master the balance between offensive and defensive maneuvers is the key to dominating battles. You can launch melee combos, throw energy blasts, and perform special moves. Still, timing and resource management play a crucial role. For example, charging your ki leaves you vulnerable. Your rival can quickly use Dragon Rush to approach you and start their combos, or they can also use additional ki to Dragon Rush behind your back to catch you off guard. That requires you to press block at the time of their hit to either dodge them, or maybe use 1 point of your stamina gauge to revenge counter them to stop their combos. However, these resources are necessary for executing powerful abilities, including transformations and devastating finishing moves, while managing stamina to transform or use specific skills of your characters. Characters like Gogeta Super Saiyan 4 or Ultra Instinct Goku can enter Sparking mode by using their 3 or 4 stamina skills, which is obtainable only through overcharging your ki to unleash their super fast melee combos and then finish you with their ultimate special attacks. And of course, running out of ki or this stamina gauge means you won't be able to evade or block incoming attacks effectively. But perhaps the most exciting feature of the combat system is the return of beam struggles and energy clashes, one of the hallmarks of the Budokai Tenkaichi series. There is nothing quite like engaging in a Kamehameha duel with your opponent, mashing buttons to overpower them as the two energy beams collide spectacularly. These clashes can happen when two special attacks meet at the halfway, or when you Dragon Rush at the same exact moment towards each other, or sometimes when you try to throw your opponent at the same exact time again. However, blindly pressing buttons without learning how to win these clashes in the tutorial mode can lead you to lose this clash or be burnt out, which also leaves you vulnerable until your character catches their breath. The developers of Sparking Zero listened to the fans of Budokai Tenkaichi and created a roster full of overpowered characters. You may notice some of the characters having more health than they're supposed to, or have stronger special attacks or even faster melee moves. This is 100% purposely made to bring out the Budokai Tenkaichi feeling, but don't you worry. By thoroughly learning on how to attack, how to parry, and how to manage your stamina gauge, even Krillin has a potential to defeat Ultra Instinct Goku. It may be tough, yes, but not impossible. Believe it or not, that sense of satisfaction is something else, not something that many fighting games can offer you. Next, let's get to one of the most vital aspects of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, the online battles. Of course, you can still enjoy classic versus matches, tournaments, and even custom battle scenarios when playing offline, but the online battles, whether it be ranked single battles where you pick only one character without any destruction point limit, or these destruction point battles where you need to create a team within 15 points, is where the real fun and destruction happen. As I mentioned, don't expect the same competitive balance as Dragon Ball FighterZ. It is clear that Sparking Zero is more focused on providing fun, sometimes really unbalanced feeling battles than on creating a balanced competitive experience. As the character roster is intentionally unbalanced, with certain characters being much stronger than others, that's part of the charm. For example, using Goku in his Ultra Instinct form against Yamcha might not be a fair fight, but it's undeniably fun. However, DP battles require you to form a team with 15 points, meaning that if you pick Ultra Instinct Goku, which is 9 points, you need to either put a maybe 5-point character or a 6, and then start queuing your ranked matches with only 2 characters. That means you might need to face an opponent that has 3 different characters with 5 points, and then transform during the fight to increase his odds against you. Although I mostly played single battles during my ranked experience, DP battles also has its own charm and unique way of strategizing before entering the ring. My latest DP team consists of Goku Black, Future Trunks and Android 18, making a team of 15 DP. That means I try to transform into Goku Black Super Saiyan Rose as soon as I gathered enough stamina. But I also try to make changes improving my gameplay, adding Android 17 and Adult Gohan to my team depending on my mood, but it mostly doesn't make any sense to have one overpowered character fighting against 2 or 3 characters in this DP mode. At least that's how I saw people also playing this game mode overall. But you know what's interesting is? The online experience is generally smooth, with minimal lag during the matches, which is an insane improvement for an anime game. I live in Japan using a US PlayStation account, and for some reason which I couldn't solve, it matches me against people playing in North America, and of course, the biggest Dragon Ball fans, they're Mexicans. I mostly have a decent, fun and solid experience while playing online. The only and possibly the biggest mistake of the developers is that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero does not have a cross-platform. It should be added as soon as possible to improve the multiplayer experience. In addition, a small yet interesting and captivating feature of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is the custom battle mode. This mode allows players to create their own battles, complete with custom dialogue, rules, and even anime-style title cards. Meaning that it simply offers an experience that you could find in maybe Little Big Planet or maybe in Super Mario Maker. People create their own Dragon Ball episodes with their own dialogues and direction and then upload them for anyone else to enjoy. The level of creativity this mode offers is astounding, and it's likely to become a favorite among fans who enjoy crafting their own Dragon Ball scenarios. Maybe you want to create Vegeta having a nightmare and fighting different versions of Goku's, or your own what if scenario maybe? I mean, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero has 181 characters, and your imagination and love for Dragon Ball series are the limits. One of the biggest selling points of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is its absolutely massive roster of characters. With 181 characters available at launch, you will be greeted with Goku, Vegeta and Gohan from different points of the story, each with different spatials and transformations, from the classic Z fighters to more obscure characters from Dragon Ball movies, or underrated characters of Dragon Ball GT, and of course the latest Dragon Ball Super. And you will find a character you would like and form your DP team with. Sparking Zero doesn't just throw these characters at you in a lazy manner, and to be honest, it may seem like seeing different versions of different Narutos like we did in Ultimate Ninja Storm series, still Sparking Zero does it better than that. Although each character's base gameplay is the same, they have different attributes, special attacks and skills that lets you customize your experience. These characters have different health points, damage or speed. Still, Sparking Zero also lets you customize your characters with attribute points. But if you want to see these work in ranked mode, do not forget to activate it before queuing for a match. What makes this roster even more impressive is the attention of the detail. Many of the characters have attacks and animations that are direct references to iconic moments from the anime and manga, and believe it or not, many of the characters talk with each other before their match starts, which even Street Fighter 6 fails to offer. Whether it's Gohan's final battle with Cell or Broly's Berserker Rage, Sparking Zero will never give up on showing that it's a real love letter for Dragon Ball and that sweet fan service for you to have fun. It's this level of fan service that elevates Sparking Zero beyond just being another fighting game and another anime title. As for the upcoming DLCs, I would like to see Beast Gohan, Ultra Ego Vegeta, and maybe Android 17 from Dragon Ball GT. Last but not least, Although Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is clearly aimed at longtime fans of the series and Budokai Tenkaichi players, I also find it quite surprisingly welcoming to newcomers. The game features a well-designed tutorial that walks players through the basics of combat, from basic attacks and combos to more advanced techniques like counters and transformations. Several characters can help you learn the game and have fun in online battles, even when you play against the veterans of Budokai Tenkaichi. Although there are some deep, technical gameplay aspects of Sparking Zero that might help you to master the mechanics, the fun factor never disappears. If you have no clue about how to play Sparking Zero and do not want to bother doing the tutorials, as I said, just pick a character and start playing online. Maybe try some world tournaments to match against people, mash some buttons, throw some special attacks, and then try to learn more in-depth mechanics if you feel interested. In the end, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is much more than a simple revival of the Budokai Tenkaichi series. And whether you're a longtime fan who grew up with Goku and Vegeta, or someone experiencing the chaos of the Dragon Ball universe for the first time, Sparking Zero offers an experience that is packed with both nostalgia, innovation, and pure fun. It not only captures the magic of the past, but also refines it for modern players. With a combat system that balances accessibility with depth, a massive roster that caters to fan service without feeling shallow, and thrilling what-if scenarios that push the boundaries of the original storylines. Besides the lack of cross-platform and some features like maps needing additions, Sparking Zero is a solid, must-play Dragon Ball experience. As always, thank you for watching today's video. If there is any other Dragon Ball or anime game that you would like to see me cover, be sure to share them by the comments below. Any humble support through Patreon and YouTube join is really appreciated, and I will see you soon in my next video.